Ladies and gentlemen, introducing the Heartbreaker, the Moneymaker, and the Champion of Time, $1 Million Matt!
What's going on, Wrestling Fluency Universe? This is another episode of Wrestling Fluency where we speak wrestling and we hope you do too. As Brandy introduced me, I am the hostess with the mostest, $1 Million Matt. And once again, I am joined by my podcast tag team partner,
the Alabama Slamma Brandy.
Alabama Slammer in the house. Woo woo!
Yeah. You down with WFC? Yeah, you know me.
Yes, sir. So, as always, Brandy, I'd like to ask, how you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, Matt. Just, living the dream.
Yep, I think you and me both are on that same plane. I myself am doing that. Just enjoying a nice weekend before I go into some craziness.
Yeah, you've got your outage coming, right?
Yep, exactly. Coming up at the beginning of May. So I was going to say, you got $1 Million Matt for a little bit, but I don't think I should be too long from what I'm understanding. It should be only like a couple weeks as opposed to our month long, but I'll take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, I remember last year we were gearing up for you to be on a really long outage, and it wound up being a shorter one.
Yeah, exactly, which I won't argue, and don't get me wrong, obviously $1 Million Matt loves getting his money. He loves getting his ducats, but, I value time a little bit more, hence why I'm the champion of time. But anyway, Brandy, I think we should bring our folks into why we have them here.
Yeah, what are we doing here today, Matt?
So, as y'all know, there is a draft in WWE, and I pitched an idea to Brandy, I believe it was a couple weeks back, if I'm not mistaken, Brand.
Sure.
But anyway, I was pitching the idea of having another annual Wrestling Fluency Draft.
Yeah, to mimic the one that's coming so fast.
Oh, yeah, and it's on the 28th, if I'm not mistaken, on SmackDown, and it's going to continue on, I believe it is, when's Monday Night Raw? Bear with me. May 1st.
It's May 1st?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. It's a little further away than I thought it would.
Oh, yeah. Yep, but luckily for us, we got our own draft, and we would really appreciate if you would see or wonder who has the better roster. Is it Slamma Smackdown? We're sticking with our shows. Is it Slamma Smackdown, or is it $1 Million Monday Night Raw?
That's right. It is the second annual draft, and it is me and Matt head to head for your affection. Which roster do you love the most?
Yep, we will find out at the end of this episode.
Now, let me ask you, Matt, did you find, when you were doing this, did you find that you did, like, totally different stuff than last year?
Oh, yeah, definitely. We wanted to kind of shake things up a little bit because as the rosters and our love for certain wrestlers is expanding, we figured we would do a little something different. But at the same time, we're sticking with our same format, which is 12 picks, which would be 5 male superstars, 4 women, 2 tag teams, and 1 stable.
Yeah. Now, I don't know about you. So we made the decision that we weren't going to pick the same people that we did last year. But when I was making my list, I was really surprised at the people that popped in my head that I really wanted to draft.
Yep, same here. And a couple of them were right underneath my nose. I don't know about you, Brandon, but I was like, holy cow, I would have never thought to draft this certain superstar.
I didn't realize that I liked as many people as I did. I was like, oh, wow. I guess I really do actually like them a lot.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, definitely. And it just snuck up on me, and as always, and I told Brandy this, I made a shitload of changes.
I made my like list of who I wanted to draft, and then I have my alternates in case you snipe someone out for money.
Mm-hmm. I did the same format too. And to keep in mind, folks, me and Brandy did this completely separately, so none of us know who's going to draft who.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And like, so when I was building this roster, I found that for me, because we could draft from any promotion. So, Japan, AAA, Impact, down in NXT. Just we could draft from anywhere to our shows. And I found myself really like looking at the people that I think are primed to have their moment now. Like they're either at the very beginning of stepping in their moment, the people they're ready to be the guy or the girl. Like they're ready to make their legacy. So I don't know if you did the same thing, Matt. I know that you watch a lot of NXT, and I've watched some NXT, and I felt like, well, I think there's a lot of people down there that have a lot of potential, but I don't know how many that I feel are ready to step into being him or step into being her. So I was really shocked at the people that I chose.
Oh yeah, same here. A lot of the ones, and I kind of flim-flammed a little bit in between promotions. I was trying not to do too much strictly WWE or AEW. Like I just really wanted to expand to different promotions and all that, just to kind of, shake things up, make things a little bit different. Just like if they were happen to be, as Brandy would mention, main roster ready.
I do not have I don't watch as much wrestling as you do, Matt. You watch a lot of different promotions,
Oh, oh,
and
oh
I
yeah,
would
definitely.
I would love to get into that. I definitely need to. It's just hard for me to sometimes. Um, but that is a goal of mine. Is to I really want to start watching more Japanese wrestling because I've since Sasha Banks went to Japan and became Mercedes Monet, I've seen a lot more stuff because it's everywhere and easy to find. I'm like, wow, this is really good actually. So I definitely want to be watching more than that. I'd like to be watching more Lucha Libre. So anyway, I just wondered if you had the same thing because I feel like last year I had like a lot of really big WWE people who had been established stars, and this time I have people who they're established stars, but they're not the guys yet, and so I'm pretty pleased with my little roster.
Yep, same here. And I might I I might have thrown in a few surprises here and there, Brandy. That's all I'm gonna leave it at.
Ooh. Well, before we came on air, we did a coin toss to see who went first. And this year, the first person to get the first pick in the draft is actually the $1 Million Matt.
Yes, indeed. $1 million Monday Night Raw gets the first overall pick. So before I make my pick, I'm gonna bring you in a little bit in kind of like $1 Million Matt entertaining fashion.
Ooh.
So I'm just gonna say me. All right, here we go. Adrenaline in my soul. My first round pick is Cody Rhodes.
That's a really good pick. That is a really good. And I like that you sang the song.
Yep, and I was gonna say a little $1 Million Matt remix.
I know that you posted it on Facebook, but I always, when I'm singing that, like adrenaline in myself, something, Cody
Cody
Rhodes.
Rhodes. Yeah, that's the thing that's being like thrown around a lot.
It's like it really is. Cody's music is so good, but I can't hear it sometimes. So I'm like, I don't know. I think that's part of. I'm like, don't turn it up. I think that's part of the appeal is that we don't know necessarily what the actual lyrics are.
Yeah.
All right,
I,
so
I
you're starting off strong with the Golden Boy.
yes indeed. You know $1 Million Matt had to come firing off, especially since I had the tribal chief.
Yeah, that's true. You did come with the trouble. Um, what made you want to pick Cody?
Oh no, just the fact that I think he could be a top star, especially in years to come, and he's really being groomed to be the guy. I mean, I know both you and I, Brandy, we saw WrestleMania. We were really disappointed. We wanted Cody to finish the story, but After taking a step back, Brand, I kind of had to think about the long term because they did the same thing with John Cena when he was feuding with The Rock.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like you said, I was sad
Yeah.
that he
Oh,
did
oh, I
not.
was too.
But Cody Rhodes, I think it's just unless something just totally off the wall happens, I think it's safe to say he's going to be a big person in WWE. He's just really gone all in and all in. He's really just gone all in on himself, betted on himself, and he's coming up. He's coming up roses.
Oh yeah, how about it? Yeah, but all right, Brandy, it is on to Slamma Smackdown. So who's your first pick?
Okay, so my first pick is someone who, the second I thought about drafting, I was like, I would want that guy on my show, and that is
Mm-hmm.
actually Ricky Starks. Ricky Starks.
Ah, nice, absolute Ricky
Yeah.
Starks.
Stroke Daddy.
Absolute.
I just think he's got it. I think he's a super attractive young man. He's still in like the prime of his wrestling years. He's a good wrestler. He's charismatic. He's great on the mic. He's got it. He's got it about him. And like as a female fan, I'm like I like to look at him because he's handsome, but I like to watch him wrestle too, and I like to hear him talk trash. So yeah, Ricky Starks is the first pick for the Slamma Smackdown.
All right. So we got the first pick for both shows, but on to the second.
They happen to be like really good friends, Cody and Ricky.
Yep, that's right. That's
Split them
right.
up.
Yep, exactly. So how about that? Yeah, they used to rock with each other, especially on Cody and Brandy's show. You
Yeah.
could tell they were pretty close. But anyway, on to the second round. The second round pick for $1 million Monday Night Raw is, and I'm surprised I didn't think of this guy last year because I'm a really huge fan of his and I really love his moveset. And that is Mr. Will Ospreay.
Oh my gosh. I don't even have him on my alternate list. Oh, I can't believe I didn't think of him. Will Ospreay. He's so good.
Sniped. Pow.
Oh, I just didn't even think. Oh my god, that's crazy. Yeah, that's a great pick. What made you want to pick him?
Oh, well, like I said, I really love his moveset. He's come a long way with being very charismatic, especially as a heel. I've noticed some of his heel work in New Japan with his new stable to, I believe it's the United Empire, and he just seems like he would bring something exciting to any show, really. I mean,
Yeah.
the
He's
idea,
he's
yeah,
exciting to look at. You're right.
I mean, the idea, Brandy, if WWE were to sign him,
Mhm.
the idea would be to bring him to NXT, but I think you could bring him onto the main roster, kind of like an AJ Styles type deal.
I was gonna say, Matt, has anyone besides AJ Styles gone straight to the main roster?
None that I can think of,
I
to
mean, I
be
guess
honest with you, Brandy.
Cody, but Cody,
Yeah,
was
technically.
already main roster.
Yeah, he was already groomed for it, and he actually left while he was on the main roster. So
Yeah. Well, that's a great pick, Matt. You got a good stable going so far. Well, not stable, but a good roster going so far.
yeah, how about it? I wasn't sure if you thought of Will Ospreay. I was just praying. I was just like, please don't let her think of Will Ospreay. Please don't let her think of Will Ospreay. Yep. But anyway, what's the second? We're about to see what is the second pick for Slamma Smackdown.
As the general commissioner of Slamma Smackdown, I'd like to introduce my second draft pick, and I know he's gonna have some shit to say about being second, and that is the devil himself, Mr. MJF.
Ah! I had him on. I had him on my list.
Sniped.
Ah man, yeah. I guess karma came and bit me in the ass. I sniped Will Ospreay for me, and you sniped MJF for me. Dang it!
I know. I was like, I was like, if I want Ricky and MJF, I'm gonna have to put them first and second because Matt's gonna get them. Matt's gonna get one of them. I know.
Yeah, at some point. Ah man, that's a good pick, Brand. That's a good one. What made you want to pick MJF?
I love everything
aside
about
from obvious.
MJF.
Yeah,
He's just so mouthy. He can work his ass off in traditional style and in new style. And when I was looking at the rest of my roster, I was really inspired by like MJF and how he would work with them. Just he's so charismatic.
oh yeah, definitely. I couldn't agree more.
Well, all right, that's my pick. Back to you on Million Dollar Monday Night Raw.
All right, so here we go. The third pick for $1 million Monday Night Raw. And I've had my eye on this superstar for a long time, especially down in NXT. And that is our current NXT champion, Carmelo
That's a good pick.
Yep. I honestly, Brandon, I've always been a fan of his. He has a phenomenal move set. He looks like somebody you would put on the face of one of the WWE trucks.
He does. He's got a great look. That's like he's a good wrestler and a great. I mean, he's an all-arounder, but like that's one thing that you really can think when you look at him is he looks like you're right. He looks like he should be on the side of one of the trucks.
Oh yeah, he definitely should be a big superstar.
I like him because he's good and he's handsome.
well, of course, Brandon. We know.
I always like to point out that they're handsome. I'm like,
oh yeah.
Being the unique situation of being a female wrestling commentary person is I get to also be like, and they're handsome.
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm the same way with the female superstar, so it's all good.
And that's a great choice, Matt. He's like 27, 28-ish area.
Yep, that's right.
He's just coming into his prime. Oh my gosh.
Yep, I kind of went for a young roster type deal.
Good pick.
Yep.
Well, over here on Slamma Smackdown, this is somebody that I have been a big fan of for a long time. I don't know if I've talked about it a lot, but like this person in particular, because they're so charismatic, they're obviously, they look like $1 million. They look like a superstar. They carry themselves like a superstar. They entertain the crowd. I think like everybody would admit that this person is right there on the cusp. You just got to have that opportunity, and that is actually Montez Ford. I'm breaking up the team, and I'm taking Montez.
Interesting.
I feel like he's got it to be real big as a single.
Oh, absolutely. I think a lot of people are hoping Montez Ford to have, if not a run at the world title, at least a run at the US or IC title. I mean, he just has it. Like, you could tell by the way he is on the mic. You can tell by the way he is in the ring. And on top of that, he's Bianca Belair said it in an interview. He's a huge fan.
Yeah. There's something about him. Whenever he's out there, you can't take your eyes off him. He's a star.
Oh, yeah. Yep, he's a big-time star.
Well, all right. Raw, what do you got?
All right, so...
$1 million Monday Night Raw.
All right, well, Brandy.
Cheech piping in.
Cheech chiming in. All right, Cheech, I hear you. But anyway, our fourth pick for $1 million Monday Night Raw. I'm just going to say this, Brandy. I never thought I would ever consider this superstar.
Oh.
Never thought I would consider him at all.
Oh, interesting.
And that is Mr. Logan Paul.
Ah, yes. But I totally get it, though.
Yeah. Logan Paul, for a lot of wrestling fans, you didn't want him to succeed, first and foremost. I was actually in picks between him and, believe it or not, since you already know I'm a big fan of NXT, Grayson Waller. But I was just like, I need that heel that everybody just wants to see get his ass kicked. And Logan Paul got it.
And he's just stupid talented. He really is naturally gifted.
Yeah, it's just disgustingly talented, but you just can't help but, no pun intended, to MJF. You got to give the devil his due.
Okay.
All right, so what you got there, Slamma Smackdown?
Well, the next pick for the Slamma Smackdown show is someone that is a fan favorite,
Mm-hmm.
but um, he's not quite made it to the big dance yet. But he's two-stepping around it, and that is Mr. Darby Allin.
Oh, nice pick. I don't think, yeah, I doubt any of us picked him up last year. What made you go towards Darby?
So I, as an original Hardy girl, okay, an original lover of the Hardy Boys, I always have a soft spot for the gothy kind of characters. But like because I was looking at like Ricky Starks and MJF, I was just like thinking, and I was thinking about my roster and how I would build it and how I would book feuds. I was like, you gotta have Darby. You've gotta have Darby for those guys.
Oh yeah, I definitely agree with that.
Plus, he's the new style of wrestling. He's high flying. He pushes tickets.
Oh yeah,
I
and
feel.
he's exciting to watch on top of that too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I would think so anyway. So yeah, good pick, Brand.
Thank you.
So anyway, oh
Yeah.
oh oh, almost thought I lost you for a minute there, Brandy.
No, I'm still here.
Yeah, I heard. I don't know why I heard a slight pause for some odd reason, but I was just like, wait a minute, where's Brandy?
I'm still here.
All right, just double checking. So anyway, the fifth and final male superstar pick for $1 million Monday Night Raw. I'm surprised I didn't think of this person, Brandy, because I don't think neither me or you picked up this superstar, and I'm not sure if he's a free agent or what his deal is, but I'm going with Drew McIntyre.
Oh, yeah. Um, I don't know if that's been sorted out or not.
Yeah, I've heard a lot of talk saying he's not going to renew his contract, he's going to go somewhere else, or they might actually have him as a surprise on the draft. We're not sure about Drew McIntyre, but one thing's for sure, he's on $1 million Monday Night Raw.
You got it done. You signed the deal.
Yep, definitely. Yep, and the thing was too, Brandy, I felt like I needed a charismatic superstar veteran, and I see that in Drew McIntyre.
Yeah, I totally agree.
Yep. And Drew's one of those guys, you can make him face or heel, just like either way, he's going to sell tickets. He's going to be great. So,
Agree. So for my fifth pick, and when I say who this is, you might be surprised that I chose them. But when you look at my overall roster and my five top guys I'm going to be moving around, you'll see why I had to have this person.
mhm.
Because I needed another heel, and this is the most slappable face in wrestling today, and that is the Spanish God, Sammy Guevara.
Interesting. And I was going to say, it's funny you say that because that is the God honest truth. There's times where I see Sammy on TV and I want to freaking give him a JBL style clothesline from hell.
Yeah.
But yeah, he does have a punchable face. But that's Sammy though,
That's
and he
Sammy.
and he works.
Um, yeah, and so just to we'll both recap. If you look at my roster for the five men, I have Ricky Starks, MJF, Montez Ford, Darby Allin, and Sammy Guevara. So I don't know if you could see where I was going with that, but
Oh
like
yeah,
those were my guys that I feel like they're primed to in the next year even just be up there, the top guys.
yep, exactly. And as you can tell, I started off hot and I remained hot. I got Cody Rhodes, Will Ospreay, Carmelo Hayes, Logan Paul, and Drew Mack.
Pretty solid, pretty solid. Now, okay, let's say that so your your top male title and your secondary male title, who would you put like in each of those slots?
So for my main title, I'm going to put it on Cody. And then my secondary title, just because I think he could have a long run with it as a chicken shit heel, Logan Paul.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. So for my main title, I would actually have it on Ricky Starks and have MJF chasing. And I think for my secondary, I would have it on Sammy because I would like that face to heel kind of as well.
Yep.
Who were some of your alternates? Like I have 5 alternates that were on my list. Who were your 5 alternates?
So my few alternates, I'm kind of kicking myself, but we just wanted to keep the format just so we can keep it simple. One of them was Brock Lesnar,
Oh yeah.
but I was going to say, that's too broad and too obvious of a choice. I mean, as much as I would love to have Brock on there, it's too obvious.
Okay.
And I think I picked Braun Breaker. And then another one I picked. In a way, I'm kicking myself, but at the same time, I'm okay with not having him, and that is Kenny Omega.
Oh yeah. Kidding. Well, I had 5 alternates listed. I did this for like each of them, but my 5 alternates were Hook,
Oh,
Chad Gable,
nice.
Shinsuke Nakamura.
Oh,
I had Braun down as well. But
we're thinking alike.
my last one was another one of those slappable heels, and that was Theory, Austin Theory.
Yep, I agree with you on that one.
So,
Oh, and I forgot
the,
I had. Sorry to interrupt, Brain. I forgot to tell you I had Jay White also.
yeah, I was shocked that you didn't have Jay White actually like on your active roster, but that's okay. There's always next year.
Yep, exactly. If you don't pick him up first.
You never know who might show up in the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Uh,
Or on Slamma Smackdown.
yeah. So that has concluded our 5 men, and now we are moving on to our 4 women.
All right.
All right, Matt, you won the coin toss. Go ahead.
All right. So once again, I think I'm going to start off hot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to start off with the EST, Bianca Belair.
I think I picked her last year. I don't remember.
Oh, okay.
I think this is her second year getting drafted.
I was going to say, I think I might have an alternative if you picked her last year. I'd have to.
Well, no, it doesn't. No. It doesn't matter if I picked her last year because you didn't pick her last year.
Right. That's true too.
Yeah, but I was saying that to say like she's a popular pick.
Right. Yeah, so we'll give that a pass.
Mm-hmm. Well, for me, I went with a lady who is definitely popular right now, and adding to me picking up a lot of AEW people this year, and that's Jamie Hayter. I picked up Jamie Hayter.
Nice. I had her. She wasn't on my list, but she was kind of in the back of my mind, but I probably should have put her on my list.
Well, all right. Who's your second lady?
All right. So my second lady, surprised I didn't think of her last year because she's actually one of my favorite women's wrestlers in the world. But she's actually not from WWE. No. Or AEW. No. She is from Impact Wrestling, and that is Miss Deonna Purrazzo.
Oh, the Virtuosa, right?
Yep, and current Impact Women's Champion.
You know, she is having such a great run. People really respect her.
Oh yeah, definitely. And believe it or not, Brandy, I forget what the promotion was, but I saw her wrestle at a VFW independent show.
Wow.
So I got a chance to see the Virtuosa in action.
Yeah, it's crazy. WWE had a shot with her and they blew it.
Oh yeah, they definitely did. But their loss. But $1 Million Monday Night Raw got her in the Wrestling Fluency universe. And I will take great care of Deonna.
Well, over here on Slamma Smackdown, we are picking up someone who's quite a controversial figure right now.
Mm-hmm.
Because people like to fuss. But I am picking up the CEO, Mercedes Moné.
Why did I know somehow, some way you're going to get Mercedes Moné?
Because I love her. I'm so proud of her.
Well, I figured as much, but I had to ask and make conversation about it.
Well, all right, Matt. What about you? What was your third?
So my third is actually another favorite women's wrestler of mine in existence, and formerly representing Damage Control, Io Sky.
Oh, Io Sky.
I love me some Io Sky. Ever since I've seen her in Stardom in Japan, just seeing her moveset, I was blown away by it. I was just like, if WWE or anyone major does not pick her up, it is a complete drop the ball moment or drop the ball signing.
Yeah.
Kind of with a few others. Sorry.
Oh, it's okay. No, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. I was just gonna say NXT. She had a great run.
Oh, absolutely.
She's really kind of just starting her run up on the main roster.
Yeah, and hopefully they give her a legitimate push.
Well, I hope so.
I'm really hoping for it. But anyway, all right, there, Slamma. Who's the next pick for Slamma Smackdown?
So this is actually someone who I haven't seen too much of her stuff. I've seen it here and there, but there's just something about her that's really interesting to me. I like her matches, and I like her look a lot. And I was like, yeah, I could do something with her on my roster, and that is Hikaru Shida.
Oh, I like that. I didn't even think of Shida. I keep forgetting all about Shida.
There's just something about her that's really interesting to me.
And if you think about it too, Brandy, around the quarantine time of wrestling as a whole, she really carried AEW, especially the women's division.
She did.
She really carried it.
I would update her look, but like, I don't think people give her enough credit. She's a great wrestler. She's sexy as hell. I mean, she's got a figure to die for.
Oh yeah.
But she's like her gear is still geared more towards like Joshi wrestling fans, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
So I would definitely update her more. But I just love her. She's got like a good energy. It's like I gotta have her. Add her to the list. Have her and Monet.
Oh yeah,
fight it out.
Oh yeah, definitely couldn't agree more.
Well, all right, Matt, it's your last woman. Who have you picked?
All right. So my last woman is going to come from NXT, and ever since she's turned heel, I've been a fan of her, and that is Miss Cora Jade.
Woohoo, Cora Jade!
She just reminds me a little bit of AJ when she turned heel, just like she's a total mixture of AJ and Saraya.
Yeah.
Like if AJ Lee and Saraya had a little baby, it'd be Cora Jade.
I saw someone talking about how she's Punk and AJ's daughter. That's a really good pick.
I was gonna say I don't think DNA would deny that. In a very parallel universe, I don't think DNA would deny it at all, even if it's not true.
You've got Braun on your roster, right?
I was going to pick Braun.
Oh no,
but I do know that they are an item.
I was going to say, if you have Braun, do you put them together?
Oh yeah, I would have them as this power couple, but.
Oh, she'll just have to stand alone. She'd be alright.
Yeah, she'd be alright.
So for me, my final pick is also from NXT.
Oh.
And that is Roxanne Perez.
Oh, good one.
Mm-hmm. I was pretty proud of this woman's roster. I was like, okay.
Yeah, I didn't even think of Roxanne, but I was just like, dang.
Yeah, I was like, she's so good, and she can work with anyone.
Oh, yeah, and on top of that, she's one of Booker T's trainees.
I got 4 former women's champions on my roster.
Yeah, I was going to say, your roster is really stacked, Brandy.
I do.
It is stacked to the tooth.
Loved it. So, Matt, Who were some of the other women you were picking up? You want to give like four alternates?
So I was thinking, believe it or not, first off, I was actually thinking Jessica Havoc from Impact. Actually, two from Impact. I was thinking Jessica Havoc and Jordan Grace.
Oh, yeah.
And another one I was thinking of, and she was kind of in the back of my mind, and that would have been, I'm not sure what the future holds for her, but Miss Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, Alexa's place on the roster is really weird right now.
Yeah, it was kind of odd because I don't know what the future holds for her. I don't know if they're going to do anything for her. They're going to bring her back. But yeah, it's kind of dodgy and confusing if you think about Brand. But.
Yeah, I know that she had to have some surgery stuff going on, some medical stuff.
Right, for skin cancer and all.
Yeah, but I think she's good to go. So we'll just have to see.
Yeah.
What they're gonna do with her.
Yeah. Yep. I was gonna say, how about yourself or your women? Any alternates?
Well, I'm sorry, I'm coughing so much. I don't know what's up. But my alternates, I had 4, and they were actually Gigi Dolan.
Oh, I didn't even think of Gigi.
I love her look. I think she's great.
Yep, I do too.
Io Sky was one of my alternates. Bailey was also on there, and Cora Jade.
Oh, how about that?
Yeah.
So we're kind of thinking alike a little bit.
Yeah. Well, all right. It's time for the tag teams.
All right. So the first tag team to pick for $1 Million Monday Night Raw is a tag team that was put together and really wasn't meant to succeed, but they made a lot of noise on NXT, and if you put them together on the main roster, I think they can make some noise, and that is DIY, Johnny Gargano, and Tommaso Ciampa.
That's a great tag team. They were phenomenal in NXT together.
Oh, they were fun to watch. I enjoyed them. Like, I thought I was like, okay, they're going to get thrown together. They're going to only last like a few weeks up until the next takeover. But they really succeeded.
They did. And it was an emotional story, too.
Oh, yeah. Even when they split up and they became when they started feuding, they had some brutal matches. Yeah.
Okay. Well, my first draft is The Acclaimed.
Nice. Why did I not think of The Acclaimed? Damn it. I love The Acclaimed too.
I was like, I gotta have Max Caster. I gotta.
Dang it. Why did I not think of it?
Unfortunate.
Yep. It is what it is. Mm-hmm. So I think this tag team would go absolutely well with DIY. And this is actually a Tag Team Tuesday post. And that would be Chris Sabin and Alex Shelley, the Motor City Machine Guns.
Oh, yeah. That would be good matches. They really would.
Oh, yeah. I think they would bring an exciting dynamic to my current tag team division, which I've drafted. And I think they would have awesome chemistry with DIY.
I think so, too. Well, so my second and final draft of tag teams is actually from NXT, and that's Pretty Deadly.
Ooh!
Yeah, I thought they would be really good in tag and singles action, just like Max Caster and Acclaimed.
Yeah, I was thinking about getting Pretty Deadly, but then I was just like, I'm not sure. I was kind of wrestling around with it between that and another pick, which I will explain in my alternates.
Oh, okay. Oh, well, that was my last pick, so.
Yep. So here are my alternates. Pretty Deadly was one of them, and I was wrestling around with. I was thinking about powerhouse tag teams. And I was thinking either the Creed brothers and another one, is a little confusing and I'm not sure about, and that would have been the Authors of Pain.
Ooh, I hadn't thought about the Authors of Pain in forever.
Yeah, I know, right? And I was a big fan of AOP.
What happened to them?
Uh, they had him doing a whole bunch of promos, I believe, and then after that brand, I think around the pandemic, they didn't do anything with him, and they released him. And now I heard word that they had like a little promotion and all that, and had certain wrestlers on there, but I guess they weren't getting paid by the Authors of Pain or whoever was in charge of the money at the time. So I'm not sure if they're blackballed or what's the deal.
I have no idea. They just disappeared from TV one day, and I just was like, okay.
Yeah, it kind of sucked because they could have been like a badass, dominant powerhouse tag team.
Yeah, really.
Yeah.
Huh. Well, my alternates were the Guns.
That's a good one.
Yeah, and then also Katana Chance and Caden Carter. I thought about picking them up.
Oh, that would have been a good one.
They're one of that's WWE's best women's tag team right now.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, all right, Matt. It's time for us to choose our one stable.
All right, so on to a stable, and as you know, Brand, I'm a big fan of this certain wrestler with this certain stable, and that would be the House of Black. The team of Malachi Black, Buddy Matthews, Brody King, I almost called him Brody Lee, and Julia Hart.
That's a good stable. That is a good stable that fits your roster well.
Oh yeah, definitely.
My stable that I chose over here is actually, and there's probably some dispute on which members constitute this, but I chose the Best Friends, which I believe is Orange Cassidy and Danhausen and Chris Statlander. I believe that's the Best Friends.
Yep, I agree. And that was the original Best Friends, if I'm not mistaken.
Because there was no way in hell I was getting out of this draft without Danhausen.
And yes, we know how much Brandhausen loves Danhausen.
Yes, very nice, very.
Oh yeah, totally.
But I honestly, it was hard because I really thought about picking up the LWO to have all those lucha people.
Oh man, I was thinking about that as well, but I didn't put them as my alternates on my list. I put somebody completely different, a different stable.
Oh. Well, all right, Matt. That has been our 2023 Wrestling Fluency Draft.
All right, so let's go through it. So for our tag teams, we got DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns on my end, and for a stable, I got the House of Black.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, go through your full roster.
All right, the full roster, starting from the top. We got the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes. We got Will Ospreay. We got Carmelo Hayes. We got Logan Paul. We got Drew McIntyre. And that concludes the men. For the women, we got Bianca Belair, Deonna Purrazzo, Io Sky, and Cora Jade. For the tag team division, we got DIY and the Motor City Machine Guns. And for our last pick for our stable, we got the House of Black. And that concludes our draft for $1 Million Monday Night Raw.
That's right. And over here on Slamma Smackdown, we have Ricky Starks, MJF, Montez Ford, Darby Allin, Sammy Guevara, Jamie Hayter, Mercedes Moné, Hikaru Shida, Roxanne Perez. We have The Acclaimed, Pretty Deadly, and The Best Friends, starring Danhausen.
The way he did that. The Best Friends, starring Danhausen.
So, guys, let us know on social media or in the comments. However, let us know whose roster was your favorite.
Yep. Feel free to leave it in the comments and even comment below who you might have drafted if you had a roster.
Yeah, give us your picks.
Yep, because here at Wrestling Fluency, we always love to keep the conversation going. As you know, we speak wrestling. We hope you do too. But yeah, let's keep the conversation going.
Yeah. So, Matt, I know you had some other things you kind of wanted to talk about too before we wrap up the episode.
Yep, and that would be actual draft call-ups. Now, these are a couple that I'm thinking about. So, as far as a switch goes from Raw to SmackDown, I'm thinking the Judgment Day will definitely go to SmackDown since Rhea has the SmackDown Women's title.
So you think they'll keep them together?
Yeah, I think so. There's no way they can't. Plus, they can have them feud with the LWO.
That's true. But, like, is the Ray and Dominic thing kind of getting stale?
I think it depends on what goes on for the next couple weeks or so. If they want to keep it going or if it doesn't really get that exciting and it just loses its steam.
Yeah.
So I think it depends on the writing, if it gets better or if it gets absolutely crappy, if you will.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of promise for Dominic, and people really love the whole mommy thing. But we'll just have to see if the Rey Mysterio thing wears thin. You know, they may choose to finally have Dominic pick up his win at the Puerto Rico show.
Yeah, I could see that. I could see them definitely giving him his W since Ray got his W at Mania.
Yeah. I heard the possibility of a hair versus mask.
I heard about that as well, too. And was it on Logan Paul's podcast that Rey Mysterio pitched the idea, or is this a different one?
I am not sure. I don't remember which podcast it was.
I know Ray mentioned it on one of the podcasts.
Okay. So what else, Matt?
So as far as NXT call-ups go, I think this guy's a shoe-in because he's good as a chicken shit heel. And I was thinking about picking him up for our draft, actually, and that would be Grayson Waller.
Yeah, I think it's time for him to come up. I do agree with that.
Yeah. He just has that, as Brandy would say, that punchable face.
Punchable.
You know that.
Slap him.
Yeah, just like he's very slimy and can't say it enough. He's the typical chicken shit heel.
Yes,
so I could definitely see him making some noise. I would probably say on Monday Night Raw.
Ooh, Monday Night Raw.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's meant for it. Kind of like the same deal with Baron Corbin.
I hope they bring up Katana Chance and Kaden because their women's division need them so bad. They need them like a life raft.
Yeah, they need them like a crackhead needs a hit.
They gotta do something with that women's division. It is.
Yeah, it's brutal.
I don't see how you can have one of the best women's roster in the fucking world and have such a shitty division.
Yeah, really. Like, there's so many women you could be pushing.
Yeah. Okay. Carry on, Matt. Carry on.
But anyway, another pick that I thought about going from NXT, actually. I was going to say, I know you said he's not ready in our Braun Breaker episode, but I think Braun might be ready. I think just because of the change of course of things, because they're turning him heel. But my big problem I have with NXT and what they're doing is it's not going anywhere. They have him feuding with Chase U, which makes absolutely no sense. I'm like, why don't you have him take one last run at the title, and if he fails, have him go up to the main roster, which makes the most sense. But I'm sticking to my pick of Braun Breaker, going to maybe actually not SmackDown, maybe Raw actually.
I think that you're right, Matt. When we did our episode on him, he was still steel. Lord, I sounded country. Steel. He was steel. He was still Lord, he was still green. Like, he was still face. I think he was still champion. But it's been a few
Yep.
months since we did that episode. And,
Mm-hmm.
with this new character, I could definitely see bringing him up. The rosters need new blood. And Braun Breaker is an exciting guy. So they could definitely stand to shake it up with him.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And like I said before, in with NXT, he's already told the stories that he's needed to tell. And like I said, they have him as a heel, but it's not going anywhere other than feuding with Chase U, which makes absolutely no sense.
Bring him up. Start some shit with other people.
Yep, exactly. But as far as that goes, I think that's the call ups and the predictions I have for the draft for the time being, which goes as follows. Oh my God, losing my train of thought here. Grayson Waller and Braun Breaker for Raw, and Judgment Day for SmackDown.
Oh, I think that's solid. Do you think anybody from the women's division will come up, or is it just a little stacked as it is?
I think it's a little stacked as it is, but I wouldn't be surprised by certain surprises. I think I heard word, and I don't know how true it is. I think I heard word about talks of Roxanne Perez.
I was gonna say her and Indy are really the only ones I could see coming up, but Indy just
Yeah.
won the title. Well, besides
Right.
Caden, I could see
Yep.
him coming.
And or better off yet, I'm still leaving room for this one, and that is my women's roster pick for $1 million Monday Night Raw, and that would be Cora Jade.
Yeah, they could pull the trigger and bring her up with Braun, but I don't know if they're really wanting to get
Yeah,
like the whole couple thing going for them, especially
yeah,
when they're like brand new.
yeah. But what they could do, Brandy, and this might be an idea to throw out there, you could make them like the modern day Edge and Lita.
That's true. People don't talk enough about her rated R stuff. I was like, Lita, that's really a good heel too.
Oh yeah, damn good heel.
They they're like, it's Team Extreme, but they like leave out the fact that she was one part of Team Extreme. Team
Mm.
Extreme was actually the Hardys and Lita. So
Oh yeah.
there's a lot of cherry picking around Lita's legacy.
Oh yeah,
But
definitely.
but that's the topic for the day.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But yeah, I think they could do that with Braun and Cora Jade. Just make him just like this disgusting couple that makes out and rubs it in everybody's face. I think that would be pretty dope.
Matt, did you see that once again Tony has an important big announcement on this week's Dynamite?
No surprise. Once again, Tony with a big announcement. Wonder what it will be.
I'm like, bro, you've had a big announcement every episode of Dynamite for like the past month. Okay?
Yeah,
I believe I'm beginning to feel like you're catfishing me.
yeah, no kidding. It's just like announcement. Another announcement. Ugh. Tony, Tony, Tony.
All right, Matt. What else? What else do we got to say, or are we?
So, I think we've said everything we need to say, Brand, to be honest with you. I mean, not unless you have any final thoughts.
I'm excited for the draft. That's my final thought. I'm excited for the draft. I'm excited for some things to get shaken up. I am concerned about Vince McMahon sticking his little pudding pie fingers in things. Hopefully.
Yeah,
Hopefully he will not be.
Yeah, with his freaking Gomez Adams mustache.
Ooh, Lord, that man. I don't think we've been on the record as saying what we think about Vince McMahon and his mustache.
Yeah, and crazy about earlier is I just watched a documentary on Vince McMahon on Vice.
Oh, hey, if you guys don't know, Ric Flair did a whole podcast with Joe Rogan recently. Like, I think it came out yesterday, maybe.
Oh, no kidding.
Yeah, I was like, it like popped up on a YouTube recommended. I was like, is that Joe Rogan and Ric Flair?
I might have to watch this after we go off the air, Brand.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
like, maybe listen to that while I'm at work tomorrow.
Yep, either that or that might be another option as well too.
Well, all right, Matt. Since we're about to go out the door, I'm going to take the opportunity to plug our social media. You guys can find us on Facebook at Wrestling Fluency. Look us up. We've got a Facebook group and our page. Please join and follow both. We are on Twitter at Res Fluency, so WRES Fluency.
Mm-hmm.
And we are on Instagram. Matt, what is the handle for Instagram? Is it the same, the Res Fluency?
Yes, it is wrestling_fluency.
Oh, okay. So it's different than the Twitter. Well, okay. So we're on social media there. So if you want to talk with us, if you got something to say, you can come say it there.
Yep, exactly. And I was going to say, feel free to come on our live feeds when we have them. When my internet decides to not be a bloody menace.
Well, I think we've got the live feed figured out. I think that, guys, if you really want to do lives with us and chat with us, please join our Facebook group, because we're going to be, I think we've got it pretty much set now that we're going to be live streaming when we live stream in our group and on our Facebook page. So come in there, chat with us.
Oh yeah. Don't be a stranger. We don't bite.
Stranger danger.
Yep.
Exactly. Maybe we do bite. Stranger danger.
Yeah, stranger danger. Aye.
So yeah, just come hang out. We're gonna try to be live streaming more because it's easier for us to pop on a live stream and do a catch up with how fast the wrestling news cycle goes. So we'll still be doing long form podcasts like that, but we are trying to up our live streaming goals. We got to get Matt through this outage first, though.
Oh yeah, pray for me, folks. Pray for me.
Pray for him. All right.
One like equals one prayer.
One like equals one prayer. Yeah, please make sure you're liking and subscribing and all that fun stuff.
Sorry, Brainy, to interrupt, but I had to put that in there. One like equals one prayer.
That's okay. Well, all right, Matt. I have been the Alabama Slamma. Who are you?
And I am $1 Million Matt. And
this is Wrestling Fluency.
Yep, this is Wrestling Fluency. That's right. We both thought at the same time.
This in the background is Cheech screaming her head off.
Yep, I think she's saying, this is Wrestling Fluency. Meow. Subscribe. Share with everybody.
Well, all right, Matt. Take us home.
All right. Once again, thanks for joining us for our annual draft. Thank you for taking time to be with us. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you're here with us. We appreciate it.
Thanks.
And once again, I am $1 Million Matt and my partner,
the Alabama Slamma.
And we out.
Bye.
Peace.